Well, hello. Today is the 2001 Ridley Scott movie Black Hawk Down. 1992, President Clinton sends Army Rangers in the Delta Force to capture Somali warlord Mohammed Farah Aidid. The force goes to capture Aidid's advisors, and at first it goes off without a hitch. Then a Black Hawk helicopter is shot down by the militias using an RPG. The militias then set up roadblocks to stop the rescue force. Army Rangers manage to establish a perimeter around the downed helicopter and fight off the militias. Another helicopter is also shot down, and two Ranger snipers volunteer to secure the site. The site, though, is overrun after heroic defense. The two Rangers are killed, and the surviving pilot is captured. Throughout the night, the militia tries to overrun the Ranger position at the other helicopter site. Finally, in the morning, with help from Pakistan UN forces, the Rangers manage to be rescued. So this was a movie based on a book written by Mark Bowden, a journalist, on the real life Battle of Mogadishu in 1992. It was filmed in Morocco, and Ridley Scott directed with Jerry Bruckheimer producing. And it did quite well. It made 173 million on a 92 million budget. It won a bunch of awards, including 2 Oscars. And this is obviously a really good film. I remember back at the time when this actually happened. There was George H.W. Bush just lost his election to Bill Clinton. And he decided, I guess, he needed to think about his legacy. And at the time, there was in the news, the central government of Somalia collapsed, and it was all these different warlords. And a lot of people were starving because of this. So he decided to send in the military, and got some other little countries to give their little token, so it made it look like an international effort. And it was actually a very success. The militia didn't want to mess with us, and people got fed. Everything went fine. And then later on, it got handed over to the UN, and the UN decided to do some nation building. And a big obstacle was the main warlord in Mogadishu, Mohammed Farah Aidid. And he kind of declared himself the president of the country, and actually killed a bunch of the Pakistani UN forces, and the UN forces there were pretty much ineffective. So President Clinton sent, our elite, our Rangers and the Delta Force, and they were assigned to capture his advisors, and I don't really know what they were doing there. I don't think anyone did what the real goal of the whole mission was. Except, on the news, we heard that some Americans died. There was one getting dragged through the streets for the whole world to see. And we immediately pulled out, and the country just continued on its way to anarchy. Interesting enough, Aidid died a few years later and got replaced. Nothing much changed. Somalia became pirate haven, hijacking freighters and oil tankers for massive ransoms. The northern part seceded to a country that still isn't recognized today. I think Ethiopia went to war and invaded them, but they didn't have enough money, so they couldn't stick around. And basically, the country is still probably a basket case and will be for the rest of my living life anyway, I'm sure. This movie though was really excellent. I mean, Ridley Scott really captured, what it's like for the soldiers that were in this. It was very intense, like just like Saving Private Ryan. It was very realistic. It made you really feel that you were a part of the action. You were part of the confusion that was going on. You don't really know what's going on, and it looks very good. And it was, I think, a very educational for everybody to know what these soldiers went through at this battle, because I didn't really know anything about it until this movie, and it had two the Army Ranger snipers that were killed were the first members to get a Medal of Honor since Vietnam, posthumously, unfortunately. And I think, if you want a real good, solid movie, I mean, the Somalis basically did kind of win this battle, even though they had a very lopsided victory. Only 18 Americans and 84 were wounded, compared to probably thousands estimated. Uh, and yeah, this is, a great war movie, probably one of the better ones out there. And I think if you want something like that, you should check it out. So, if you stuck with me this long, you're a unique individual, and I thank you.